what we do in life from beginning to end as we solve problems. All your life from Don Davis, you will be solving problems, little problems like running out of toothpaste at home, big problems like your client canceling an order, and so on. And the better you get at it, so it becomes almost like an automatic response, gets to the point where people start to come to you and they say, look, I've got this problem and you just seem to solve problems so well. What can we do? And I teach these all the time, so people, instead of responding to a problem with anger or disappointment, I said, wait a minute, by whatever it is, I can solve it. I just have to find a way to solve it. And it never enters their mind that they can do it. Sometimes you will have solutions that don't work at all and that are very expensive or maybe even fatal, and those things you can't do much about. But basically, most things you can't do much about. But basically, most things you can solve. One of the things I say is nothing will make you madder than to see somebody who's dumber than you, who's doing better than you, and you say, how can this idiot be doing so well? It's like I went to the best salespeople and I said, how come you're so successful? And they told me what they were doing, and I did it, and I made more sales. So one of the greatest success principles that you'll ever find is learn from the experts, learn from the people who are already demonstrating the results that you want to get, and you can save yourself years of hard work by simply learning from people who've already learned it by themselves. The greater clarity you have with regard to what you're trying to accomplish, the faster you'll achieve it. In fact, people with clearly written goals and plans with priorities accomplish 10 times as much in life as people without. Be clear about your 3 most important tasks and help everybody else be clear about their 3 most important tasks. So you get everybody always working on the 3 most important things they can do, and you hire other people who can do the tasks at a lower rate than your best people. That's the job of the leader. Decide upon your goals and your most important goal, and then every day begin your day with a list. Then what you do is you look at your list and you say, if I could only do one thing on this list, what one activity, what one task would I want to be sure to complete before I left town for a month? All right, and that becomes your most important task for the day. It's your biggest task. It's the one you're most likely to procrastinate on. It's also the one that will have the greatest positive impact on your career if you do it now. So if you have 2 really important tasks, do the most important one. And the second corollary is discipline yourself to work single-mindedly at that task, no matter what happens. Keep on that task because you've now decided that everything else is a relative waste of time except this task. If you can do that and develop the habit of doing that, you will double your productivity the first day, and it will just continue to increase for the rest of your career. Everybody wants to feel like a winner. Everybody wants to feel like a winner. So how do you get the winning feeling? Simple answer, you win. Well, you cross the finish line first. It's so important. They set up finish lines for themselves that they can cross. And so if you complete a task of any value, it's like winning a little bit and you feel like a winner. And your self-esteem goes up and your self-confidence goes up and you feel happier and more personable. When you set up a task and you complete it, you feel like a winner. Now, if you have a list of tasks to do and you choose to do your most important task and you complete it, you get a rush. You almost laugh out loud. You're happy, your heart rate goes up, you smile. Sometimes you will stay and work late at night to complete a task and you get it done at 2 or 3 in the morning. And even though you should be exhausted, you're happy. They recreate this feeling over and over until it becomes a positive addiction. And positive addictions are fed by setting and completing important tasks, tasks that have an important role in your life. You're happy all the time and you are respected and esteemed by the people around you and you feel proud. You have a positive self-image and people like you. You earn more money. Make a list, identify your most important task, start on that and stay with it until it's done. But world-class people have a much bigger vision of what is possible for them. Imagine that you could go from X to your current income to 10 times your current income, and your first response to that is that that's completely preposterous. There's no way that I could increase my income 10 times. It's not possible. All you need to do now is do the same things that you did to double or triple your income, and you'll double and triple it again, and double and triple it again, and then you'll have boosted your income 10 times. And there are people all over the world who are earning 10 times as much as you, and they're no better and no smarter than you are. Most of us begin to develop narrow thinking around our current income, and then we adjust our lives. We force our whole world to fit into our current income, whereas top people create a vision. So when you start thinking, well, if your business was world class, if you were world class, how would you be different from today? This is the key. Take the first step. The first step forces you to break out of your comfort zone, and the comfort zone is so strong that probably 90% of people are held back from their full potential all of their lives because of this vice. Like comfort zone. And when you take the first step, the only way you can do is break out, and suddenly you see the second step and the third step and the fourth step. And then as you take the steps, your self-esteem goes up and your self-confidence goes up, and you become more creative and you start to think of all kinds of ideas. 85% of self-made millionaires, when they were asked, how did you become a millionaire with all the competition? They said hard work. And I have never found an exception to that worldwide in every language and culture. Successful people work harder than the average person, and very hard. The average successful person works 6 days a week, 59 hours in the beginning of their career. Sometimes it's 7 days a week and 80 hours. The average is 59 hours, 6 days a week. Everybody wants to be successful, and nobody's better than you, and nobody's smarter than you. All negativity in your life, all failure and frustration, all negative emotions come from your failure to accept responsibility. And if you do that, you have to, first of all, realize that it's not true. You are responsible for your own life. You'll find that so many people, all they think about is other people who have hurt them or done them dirty or need to be punished, and so on. The second turning point for me was learning how to write down your goals. If you want to increase your income by 10 times, write down your goals and make a plan to achieve the goals, and then work on the plan every day. And then number 3 is dedicate your whole life to continuous learning. Number 1 is every billionaire has worked very, very hard. And you just think of the ones that are the most famous, whether it's Bill Gates or Warren Buffett or Richard Branson. Richard Branson, all these people, they're starting off with nothing, and what they say is that they study an average of 60 to 120 minutes a day. Warren Buffett reads 500 pages a day. Then make a plan to achieve it. Why aren't you already earning twice as much? And pretty soon, if you ask the question, the answer will pop up. And then just start doing what you need to do every single day, and then read, learn. Listen, upgrade your skills, because you can learn anything you need to learn. And the more you learn, the more you can learn. Your level of self-esteem or self-worth, your sense of personal value, the amount that you like yourself and respect yourself, determines the entire quality of your life. All the positive things that you do raise your self-esteem, improve your self-image, improve the quality of your relationships with other people, and enable you to have a wonderful life. Here are 7 rules you can apply to achieving anything you desire. Number 1, get serious. Make a decision to go all the way to the top until the moment you decide that, by gum, I'm going to be the best in what I do. I'm going to be in the top 10%, and suddenly you emerge into the sunshine and your life is forever different. Wonderful. You don't have to be grim, but to go from average to 14, you must get serious, and you must get serious. And you must get serious about 2 very important things. Number 1 is setting your goals and where you want to go. Designing the next 5, the next 10 years is so vitally important. Then you have to get serious about another important subject, and that important subject is called personal development. There's a very important question to ask, and the question is, 10 years from now, you will surely arrive. And the question is where. So to answer the question of where you want to arrive and the kind of person you want to be, you've got to get serious. All manner of things begin to happen that would not have happened in the absence of the decision. All kinds of things begin to happen immediately after you make a very clear decision, which means that you set a very clear decision, which means that you set a very clear goal, and writing the goal down is, as we say, very powerful. Number 2, take excellent care of your health. Some people don't do well because they don't feel well. Since the mind and the body work together, you've got to take care of the body as a support system. You know, you can't do that worldwide kind of high-intensity activity without being incredibly healthy. So why not start with health and see if your own vitality would inspire you to more imagination? You can't believe your imagination and your faith and your ability to say, hey, I'll go to work and produce the muscle to do the deal. Why? I'm healthy. I'm vigorous. I'm vital. I'm not out of breath. But if you've got the vitality and the strength and you've got the health telling you, ideas seem to love to be invested in healthy people that have got the ability and the ambition to pull it off. So have a talk with yourself and say, this is the last time I'm going to be out of breath. This is the last time I will lack the vitality to pull off my dreams. Here's good advice. Make sure the outside is an excellent reflection of the inside. Number 3, get around the right people. Get around positive people. Get around people with goals and plans and people with goals and plans and people who are going somewhere with their lives and have high aspirations. Get away from toxic people that complain and whine and moan all the time. See, ladies and gentlemen, it takes a lot of energy to reach your goal. It takes a lot of emotional, mental, and spiritual energy to reach your goal. So there are 2 kinds of relationships: nourishing relationships and toxic relationships. Nourishing relationships are the relationships that inspire you, they motivate you, they bring the best out of you. Toxic relationships are relationships with people that always criticize you. These people are bad for your health. One negative integrator energy drainer can spoil your whole life. So you've got to look at the people in your life and find out what kind of person you're becoming because of that relationship. You run around with losers, you will end up losing. Number 4, find out what's holding you back. The only thing that restricts what you do, have, is your own thinking. One of the exercises that we do is we say, take your current income or your best year's income and add a 0 to it as your goal. Just imagine that there's 1 in 1,000 probability or possibility that you could achieve an income goal of 10 times. Just one at a time. Is that true? Is that possible? Say yes? Yeah, there's at least 1 in 1 thing. 1 chance in 1,000 is possible. Well, could there possibly be 2 chances? Maybe 3 chances. What could you do to increase the probabilities? And once you start to think like that, your thinking begins to change from, no, it's not possible for me, to I wonder how it would be possible. What would I have to do to earn that kind of money? And now your whole creative mind opens up and you start to think and see possibilities that you never saw before. Just enough. You have to become a totally different person to go from 0 to being worth more than $1 million if you lost all of your money because of a crash in the economy or something else. You can make it all back again because now you're the kind of person who can make it. And it's only a matter of time before you quickly restore that amount of money in your reality. Number 5, positive visualization. See yourself as the very best in your field. We also know that your self-image controls your performance, controls your performance. It's the way you see yourself and think about yourself inside determines how you act on a day-to-day basis. If you see yourself as a success, if you see yourself as happy and positive and confident and in control, if you see yourself as a loving parent or spouse, you will act that way toward others. So therefore, all improvement in your life begins with an improvement in your mental pictures, with you consciously and deliberately selecting the pictures that you're going to allow your mind to dwell upon. If you begin to tell your brain that you intend to be a great success in your field, that you're going to move to the top, that you're going to be one of the most pristine people in what you do, you begin to see all kinds of possibilities that help you move toward achieving that goal. The average person doesn't even see because the average person is so worried about how little money they have and how much their bills are, all the problems are, and the more they think about those things, the more they get them. So with regard to positive visualization, see yourself as you desire. It goes to work and it coordinates your words, actions, thoughts, activities, emotions, and so on. So they're consistent with achieving and bringing that mental picture into your reality. You'll find that successful people are always thinking constructive, positive, creative thoughts that help them to be more successful. You become what you think about most of the time. In other words, your whole life today, everything around you, has been determined by what you think about most of the time. You've attracted this into your life. You must be very, very deliberate and feed your mind a diet of mental protein of highly nutritious words, pictures, quotes, magazines, television, audio tapes, books, newspapers, and so on. Your job is to ask yourself when you look at a book, is this going to help you in some way? Things that you feed into your mind have such an enormous impact on your mind. Make sure that what you're listening to, what you're watching, teaching, what you're hearing is consistently what you want to accomplish. Number 6, positive self-talk. Sometimes the only good things you will hear about you are the things that you say to you. Learn to be your own booster. Start building yourself up. Start encouraging yourself. Start encouraging yourself. Start saying, I can do this. I can make this happen. And here's the key to positive self-talk. There are 3 P's to self-talk. First of all, it must be personal. That means all really good self-talk that programs your subconscious begins with the word I. I can, I am, I like myself, I can do it. I feel happy, I feel happy, I feel healthy, I feel terrific. Now, the second P is it must be in the present tense. In other words, you don't say, I will quit smoking, I will earn a good living, I will be happy. You say, I am happy, I am a non-smoker, I feel terrific, I like myself. And the third is that it's positive. So instead of saying, I'm not going to smoke anymore, you say, I'm a non-smoker. If I could give you one smoker, if I could give you one secret of success, it would be this. It is to talk about the things you want and refuse to talk about the things you don't want, to continually control your inner dialogue. So you're always saying the things to yourself and then to others that are consistent with the person you want to be and the life that you want to have. Number 7, positive action. When you get a good idea, do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Only 2% of people in our society have a bias for action. And if you're already in the top 10%, you can move yourself into the top 2% by resolving that whenever you have an idea or something to do. And the faster you move, the better you get, and you ultimately become unstoppable.